Okay. Cares to own
I never really got to play many side games growing up, due to money issues and not knowing they existed, till many years later. So when I found out about The Sims 2 on PlayStation Portable, I had to get it. So on my Vita, I bought it on PlayStation Network. After days of playing, I did eventually beat it. So after all these years, is it still any good? Is it better thanks to emulation? Since I sold my crappy Vita, cause it's crap. Time to find out. You start by creating your sim, and you can also edit your neighbors if you want to. You can't rename them, but change their basic appearance outside of gender. This sucks. And there's only a few clothing options. Another issue. After creating Charlie and Muda, and then myself, I jumped in-game. You're driving your rundown car through the desert when you see a plumb bob and your car breaks down. Afterwards, you learn the basics of the game like conversations, flirting, friendships, needs, secrets, buying things, etc. Once you head into town after strange things occur, like your car and the mechanic going missing, things get even more strange. With experiments, aliens, monsters, zombies, ghosts, robot waifus, you name it. After spending some time trying to play the vanilla game, I eventually cheated, just because I got sick and tired of the needs decaying so rapidly, like it's The Sims 1 all over again. This, however, did not fix anything. I was still struggling to get stuff done. Running around trying to figure out who to talk to, which grave to dig up while being harassed by zombies, being attacked by the most freaking ugly looking feminists, getting a hickey from a vampire chick, or joining a cow cult. Yeah, this game has a lot going on for it. So much character, so much personality. Damn, this makes The Sims 4 look even more like an NPC meme in comparison. But sadly, all the fun and weirdness goes away the moment technical problems kick in. And they started right away in Create a Sim with slowdowns, frame rate hiccups, load times, actions taking forever to complete, Sims getting stuck and not wanting to do what you want. And all you can do is wait, as you can't cancel it out. Thank God for emulation speed up, but this doesn't help as the game eventually crashed when I went back home to talk to the maid. At this point, I had enough. A highly flawed, mediocre game, held back by tons of technical problems, all thanks to the crappy PSP. Sony never could do anything good outside of home consoles, and timed exclusives like today. No value plastic box PS5 aside, the PSP never had a good single game. The Sims 2 PSP is just another example of that.
It's awful.
So yes, no, I do not recommend this game. The Sims 2 for PSP is a mistake. If you want a better Sims 2 on the go, play the DS version. Just avoid the GBA one, which plays nothing like a Sims game. I'll eventually take a look at the Sims 2 for DS, but it's in the back with the Pokemon Stadium games, every other Grand Theft Auto, Way of the Samurai 4, and a few others. These are the might happen but not likely game reviews. Anyways, that's it for this video. Maybe one day we could find a good game for the PSP. Till then, see you next time. I can't believe It's been close to a year since I last tackled The Sims on PlayStation Portable. That was December 31st, 2023, which is only a few months away. Can you believe 2024 is almost over basically? I can't. Time, slow down. I hate aging. I'm 30 now. Where did my 20s go? I can't keep up with times 2 speed. Set it back to normal speed, please God.
So that's where we're at, guys.
Anyways, since I tried to play and review The Sims 2 for PSP for almost a year ago, I decided it was time to see what other Sims games existed for this platform. Sadly, there's only 2 more games, and those 2 are The Sims 2 Pets and The Sims 2 Castaway. Surprise, surprise. The Game Boy Advance and DS got more games, even though they were inferior tech-wise. The poor PSP got shafted by too many developers.
Like, that's what it is. It's nothing bad about it. Well, I mean, like, but you gotta acknowledge it. There's a lot of people like that. So yeah, no, it's not. Shouldn't be a surprise. It should be. I'm surprised it's not more.
Anyways, today we'll tackle The Sims 2 Pets for PlayStation Portable and see if it's actually a game worth playing, unlike The Sims 2 PSP, which suffered from so many technical problems, game-breaking bugs, and crashes. Can The Sims 2 Pets give a better experience on the go? Let's find out. While The Sims on consoles for both home and handheld usually were more goal-oriented, more linear, more story-focused, The Sims 2 Pets for PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, and PlayStation Portable is more sandbox in nature, allowing you to create households and live a normal life. Well, normal is to be expected from The Sims. You can create a sim and live a basic life with pets as an option, though they're more than encouraged in this game, unlike Pets expansions for PC where it's more of an option. Here, most of the gameplay and features revolve around pets. Of course, only cats and dogs, as other animals are really not a thing, especially horses, which were first introduced in The Sims 3 Pets. Meanwhile, in The Sims 4, you had to pay $40 for them separately. So let's jump right into Create a Sim and see what we can make. At first, I was disappointed by the lack of options, as most Create a Sim assets are for cats and dogs instead. They have way more color swaps, outfits, and more stuff over human Sims, but I was able to make something decent to myself, an alien waifu for obvious reasons.
What the fuck?
But of course, The Sims 2 didn't have real aliens, those only existed in The Sims 3 Seasons and Sims 4 Get to Work expansion packs. Anyways, after making myself an alien and some pets, I came back later to make Charlie and Mutahar. Sadly no Zach, cause I just didn't feel like it.
Because he's stupid. Duh. He's stupid, so he's gonna think something stupid. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, duh.
Also because there's a limit of 4 households in the game world. That's right, The Sims 2 Pets for PSP has the same amount of lots as a Sims 4 expansion pack, which is $40.
I'd buy that for $1.
Thankfully, making Charlie and Mutahar was really easy. I think this is as close to what they look like as we can get. Though in The Sims, if they ever did have a height slider, I'd make Charlie shorter to be more accurate.
Do I look like a happy camper to you? Didn't think so.
Since this entry is all about pets, they get most of the assets in this game's creative sim, so even though human sims are lacking in options, cats and dogs, not so much. We even have 2 unique breeds exclusive to the console version of pets, those being alien and robotic cats and dogs.
How? How is such a thing possible?
These of course are just cosmetic, but they do sound different, so that's a neat addition. We didn't get in any pets expansions for the PC. The one thing that is disappointing, but probably because of limitations of the disk space or memory of the PSP, is there's a lack of breeds for cats and dogs. We only get a small amount of about what, 15 probably each?
Wow, so many options.
At least we can customize their fur color, pattern, and stuff like that, and coat, and also give them some drip, or whatever it is the kids say these days.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push my mind to a limit where it needs to feed. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be.
As with all games on the PlayStation Portable, it takes quite some time to get used to its clunky controls. The analog stick, or C-stick, or pad, or whatever you want to call it, is your movement. To interact with things, you use X. Triangle to cancel. Circle to switch between everyone. The left trigger is your pause and speed up option. The right trigger is your camera. You hold it and then use the stick to move the camera around, but you cannot move during this yourself, so it's a bit clunky as a way to get around as to why Sony thought it was a good idea to not include a second stick. You cannot freely build in this game. Unlike The Sims for home console and The Sims 3 on DS, you can only select from a number of presets which grow in more variety as you earn aspiration points. You get this by completing goals for your sim based on their current conditions, environment, and aspiration. So a creative sim will want to cook, paint, but also train their pet to learn a new skill.
Keep it going.
If you earn enough points, you can then use more variety of the house presets on top of finally unlocking bedrooms, so you don't have to overcrowd the living room / dining room / kitchen / bedroom / study anymore. Finally, you don't have to live in a New York size apartment house. But also, you can choose if you want wallpaper and flooring or not, as well if you want predetermined furniture as part of the preset or not. You can even sell your current furniture or have it stored away when remodeling to place it where you want later. Just be sure to have the money, cause it's expensive and I never could afford it, because pet ownership, bills, and house fires are not exactly cheap. Yeah, don't help when Charlie's playing the guitar. Guess he wants to make another gentleman album. He calls it Moist Home Fire.
Oh, not so good, huh? Not so good.
At least buy mode is less restrictive than build mode, though the amount of objects is greatly reduced from The Sims 2 PSP, The Sims 2 on consoles, and probably the home console versions of The Sims 2 Pets itself, which again I blame on the UMD not having enough space, or the console memory limitations. It's one or the other.
Why not both?
While Create a Sim was mostly for pets, Buy Mode is mostly for human sims, at least from the first impression. Most of the pet objects are available in Town Square, which we'll cover later.
Yay!
The worst thing about Buy Mode in The Sims 2 Pets for PSP is entirely within what little you can actually have. Every single light counts towards your fire code limit. Every painting, plant, counter, couch, pet toy, food bowl, sink, mirror, bed, you name it. This adds up quick, and the game will warn you. Your house will catch fire randomly if you put too much stuff in it. This is a way to mask the limitations of the game.
No shit.
On console, this limit is a lot more fair, but on handhelds, it was always too little. You basically can only have the necessities and basically no gameplay objects like a bookcase, computer, TV, workout machine, telescope, hot tub, you name it.
I'm out.
I'm not sure if increasing your house size preset will increase the fire code limit, but I doubt it. The game was already yelling at me when I placed 2 whole beds. Well, unless you're a couple, Sims won't sleep in the same bed together, which is kind of understandable. If only it was easy to build relationships in The Sims 2, I'd make Charlie and Muda gay, like in most of the other Sim games I play.
What's wrong with you?
If you've ever played The Sims 2, you know what kind of needs you have. You got social, bladder, hygiene, hunger, entertainment, energy, comfort, and environment. If your Sim needs are high, they're more productive. While needs don't deplete too fast in this game, at least they do display, unlike The Sims 2 for DS, where you just randomly have to take a dump while fighting aliens with a water gun.
I have several questions.
Unlike some Sims games, needs are not so much of a chore in The Sims 2 Pets for PSP, though pets can be annoying because your Sims will not shower or take a dump if your cats and or dogs are in the bathroom with you. Which I mean, they're going to go around randomly, right? It's only natural they'd probably follow their owner around the house and stare at you uncomfortably while you're on the toilet, especially cat owners know what I'm talking about. Cup your junk, fellas. Don't want the cats trying to jump on you while you're sitting down to release the brown. To have an easier life as well as get promotions, you need to increase your skills. These are your usual cooking, mechanic, creativity, body, cleaning, logic, and charisma. There's at least 2 objects to increase most of these skills with books, computers, weight bench, easel, chess table, kitchen appliances, mirror, and of course, training your pets can increase your charisma too. So you want to get better at wooing women? Teach your pet a new skill. Speaking of pets, let's finally talk about them. I mean, they're the whole appeal of this game after all. While you cannot control them, you can swap to them to see their needs and wants. They also cannot work, unlike in the PC expansion The Sims 2 Pets, which I always thought was a neat addition. Too bad it was never brought back. Training your cat to be good at dealing with rodents was a good way to make money. Cat goes to work, you stay at home eating chips, drinking soda, and watching TV. Those were the good old days. Ah, childhood. Windows XP. Not doing homework to escape reality. Simpler times, better times. Anyways, pets have the basic needs to social, entertainment, hunger, bladder, hygiene, and energy, which can all be dealt with easily. In fact, I barely had to deal with my pets so I could focus on getting promotions and afford better stuff, let alone just being able to pay the bills. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Pets can get in the way constantly in this game. They almost got me fired from work by almost missing the carpool. They also got in the way of me taking a dump earlier, and of course I couldn't use the counter to make food or even clean it because my cats wanted to stand around doing nothing. What are they? The Sims 4 Sims? Still, while annoying, I did enjoy just taking my cat to the town square. So let's finally cover that. There's only one place you can go in this game. Yes, unlike The Sims 2 for PS2, The Sims 2 for PSP, The Sims for PS2, The Sims Bustin Out, and Urbz Sims in the City, there's only 2 locations in this game. No multiple lots you can move to and complete objectives in, or just visit and hang out with people. You can't go to a club or anything like that. No. In this game, you can only stay on your home lot forever, or go to the town square, which is a good place to meet new Sims, pets, and get supplies and treats for your pets. You got a kennel, where you can buy or sell your pets, a pet salon to pamper your pet, a supply store, a bakery, and a boarding house. But to use them, you need money or paw points.
What the hell? What the hell is that?
Paw points are a new currency introduced by the pet-loving mayor. These points can be earned by interacting with pets, especially other people's pets at the town square, or by converting your simoleons to paw points. Each point is 5 simoleons. What is this, Xbox Live points?
Haha!
Anyways, you use these points to buy treats, new foods, toys, beds, litter boxes, cat condos, and more. They're easy to get, but at least money conversion is an option. I just enjoyed coming here at night with my robot cat and play. We hung out in a tree. Man, if only The Sims 4 could have tree climbing. How is a PSP game more advanced than The Sims 4? That game can't even have functional weddings. Of course, because this is The Sims 2, you cannot mention the music. It's iconic, and still the best of the best in life simulation. While The Sims 1 has some elevator-esque tunes or stuff you'd hear in the department store in the 1990s, like at a Kmart or a Kohl's or JCPenney. The Sims 2 just has some great tunes, from the main thing to the various build and buy mode grooves. Sadly, The Sims 2 Pets for PSP is hindered by technical problems, much like The Sims 2 for PSP, which we'll start talking about among other things in the other section. The load times can be a bit bad at times, from roughly 30 seconds a pop to almost a minute, depending on what's going on. This just does add up over time, if you're switching households or going to and from the town square and back home. It just really adds up, much like in The Sims 4. Another problem with all the console versions of The Sims is the controls are a bit clunky, more so with The Sims 2 for consoles, giving you directly control them instead of point and click. Things just start getting cumbersome when you need to pick up a book, select what to do with it, then you need to go to work, so you need to cancel reading it, then move to the bookcase and select it, then select put away the book, then wait to put it away, then rush out the door in the hopes you're not fired. It just adds up and really becomes cumbersome, especially with pets getting in the way.
Told your friend you're not okay.
Every time a sim or pet loads into the area, the game has to freeze and load them in. The more that do this, the more it occurs and it builds up. It's annoying, and most prominent at the town square with sims and pets coming and going. I honestly started to hate this game because of this. I mean, it just disrupts the flow of things, you know? You don't want stuttering, freezing, and constant loaded screens, right? What is this? Starfield? There's no children, no elders, teens, toddlers, infants, young adults, ghosts, Grim Reaper, death, aging, pregnancy, babies, and more. There's a lack of gameplay objects to make you want to save up and buy new things to play with. There's no places to go either.
Why?
The game teases you with a neighborhood full of Sims, but they only appear at the town square, or to first visit you when you first move in. There's not a bunch of people to interact with, only 4 households max, so that means only 3 if you play as one of them. These can only have 4 Sims or 3 pets with 1 Sim or something in between with 1 Sim minimum. You cannot go to their houses either. You cannot move to a new place unless you delete an existing household to make way. The game is fun in a short session, but all it's making me want to do is play The Sims 2 for PC, DS, or PlayStation 2 instead. Heck, I'd rather play The Sims 2 for PSP, really, and that says a lot given I condemned it for being a technical nightmare. At the end of the day, The Sims 2 Pets for PSP is a borderline average game. It's flawed heavily in many aspects, but at least it's decent fun for when you're on the go. But that's about it. The PS2 version looked and played way better back when I tried to review that a few months back, but scrapped it. Sometimes it's just hard to come up with a script, and I need to make room on my SSD to have more projects in the works.
Of course!
Plus, the game has little to no content to keep you wanting to come play for long periods of time. There's not much in the way of progression outside of getting a slightly less inconvenient house layout. The technical problems get in the way, controls can be cumbersome, the pets can get in the way of things as well. It's okay, and I will recommend The Sims 2 Pets for PSP, but man, does it have a lot of flaws. Eventually, I'll look at the last game, The Sims 2 Castaway for PSP. Till then, anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later. Well, it's time to review the last Sims game for the PlayStation Portable. Sadly, it has to be The Sims 2 Castaway, a game I originally reviewed last November, and boy howdy, did I not have anything nice to say about it at all.
He ain't lying.
That game was god-awful. So awful, I never wanted to review any more console Sims games for a while. But since then, I've played better games, and I'm in the mood to wrap up yet another future compilation. Given this is the PSP, a heavily flawed handheld that could have worked had it not been for the UMD games, all the moving fragile parts inside the PSP, and of course, the single stick issue. But enough about how the PSP was doomed from the get-go. It's time to review The Sims 2 Castaway for PSP to see if it's any different or better than the PS2 version. Spoiler alert, it's not.
Oh, okay.
The Sims 2 Castaway is a survival game. You get in a boat wreck at sea during a horrible storm alongside anyone else you added during Create a Sim. As you explore the island, you uncover more secrets, gather supplies, increase your skills, and find a means of escape. All the while doing literally everything in tiny sectioned off levels, subpar graphics, and tons of technical hiccups. Ah yes, it's just as bad if not worse than the PlayStation 2 version. Great. Just great. To begin, you have to make at least one sim. After that, you can make up to 5 more for a total of 6 sims. Not surprisingly, there's barely any assets to make sims in the first place. Get used to people looking the same.
Yeah, I've heard they all look alike.
There's only a small selection of hairs, facial hairs, and face presets. You cannot sculpt your sims' faces unlike in the PC game. So yeah, at least I made some attempt to make myself, Charlie, Muda, and Zach. Then I added 2 females to make it not such a sausage fest. After all, no homo, right?
I'm gay.
Okay, so besides sussy wussy fat laughing Indian man guy, the rest of us are not sparkles and sunshine. During Create a Sim, you will notice you cannot give your sims any accessories like glasses, hats, or jewelry. You also cannot choose your clothing. That is predetermined based on your gender of male or female, then also depends on your occupation. Yes, your job will determine your outfit, and of course, what starting skill or skills you'll have during your island survival.
Oh Lord Jesus! Oh Jesus! Get the water, nigga! Jesus Christ! Lord have mercy! Get the water, nigga! It's going down! Ah, the motherfucking bootleg fireworks shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
So after creating a decent looking Charlie, too bad I can't adjust the height in The Sims.
Do I look like a happy camper to you? Didn't think so.
Making a butler, I mean black friend, so I can't be called a racist.
Ain't nobody want you around. Not even your parents want you. What's wrong with you?
And of course, the balding hobgoblin king himself, Asmongold, except I couldn't find the right hair. I mean, they all have too much hair still.
Suck a fucking dick. Shut the fuck up.
We set sail for a day on the sea, singing karaoke badly, drinking, and fishing. Then the Fire Nation attacked. Once you begin, the game will ask if you want to participate in a tutorial. Thank God it's optional. I declined since I've already played the PS2 version, but dear God, is the controls just a joke. I get you have to work in with the limitations of a vastly flawed handheld, but goddamn son, this shit be a joke. Since the PSP doesn't have a second stick, or even an L2 and R2 respectively, you have to use a combination of buttons to access various things like speed up, speed down, pause, and moving your camera. More on the camera later.
What a load.
It's just a clunky mess, and I'll do my best to explain it. Use the analog stick or C-stick or whatever you want to call it to move around. The X button, it's not cross, damn it. I'll never accept that it's called cross. It's the X button.
Damn straight.
For accept and interact, circle brings up your Sim's personal inventory for the shit wipe and bed mat, plus anything like food and tools. Triangle is your cancel button. Square is to bring up your motives and other information. Left shoulder button plus the stick allows you to switch Sims if you have any who joined your group. To do that, I'll explain later on. Then finally, you can use the right shoulder button plus the stick to move your camera around, but only when you're not moving. Then finally, to do things like speed up, slow down, and pause the game, you hold the left shoulder button and press up and down on the D-pad.
It's awful.
Yeah, the controls are a clunky mess, which is to be expected from this console.
Damn right.
As to be expected from the PSP version of all Sims games, you have a vastly limited amount of objects and fire code limitations. You cannot place many objects before random fires begin to occur, and given this is a survival game, that means about another 2 real-world hours till you have enough required resources to build new stuff. Gotta keep making the same shitty-ass mistakes all survival games make, after all. Then again, this came out before the survival craze.
Doesn't matter.
So if you place a single building, even if small, you cannot place another one in that area. You must build another in the new section of the island, or just demolish the current hut for a new one. One piece at a time.
Oh, shit!
Of course, this is such a chore to deal with, just to build a new hut. That essentially is the same thing with the same amount of space or rooms, just a different skin. What a load of bollocks. With any survival game, they get needs wrong. Every time, for some reason, they think all people in survival games are hypoglycemic and narcoleptic. Seriously, any survival game where you have to eat, sleep, you name it, you need to eat way too much and sleep way too much. There's no way this is realistic. It's just a way to pad out the game
And also piss me the fuck off.
Jesus Christ!
In this game, you'll be eating more fish than there are in the ocean. In this game, you'll be sleeping longer than the average human lifespan. In this game, you'll be shitting more in a day than your average elephant does in a year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Most of your playtime will be trying to not starve to death, trying to get enough sleep so you can harvest resources, or even just explore the islands. And of course, the other various needs like hygiene, entertainment, comfort, environment, crapping yourself, and social.
Is that all?
Which brings me to another issue all survival games suffer from, the needless grinding. You will be harvesting resources for hours just to build a simple tool. It's awful, and I do not like it one bit. Thank God there was some cheats. Too bad there wasn't one for needs. I needed a way to not have to deal with my Sims always starving to death because they haven't eaten a blue marlin in the last 5 fucking seconds.
Oh, it's true.
If you don't use cheats, get used to the game's repetition. Hack at a tree for some wood, then eat 30-something fish, then sleep, then crap, then eat 30-something more fish. Then crap, then sleep, then eat something more of something 30 fish, then crap, then hack at a tree for more resources again and 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 again. The one pro I can give it is the game loads quickly. As you explore and hit non-stop loading screens, they'll be pretty brief. Too bad The Sims 4 couldn't be like that.
Based.
Another thing you will have to deal with entirely is doing everything alone. The only time anyone did anything to help was putting together a hut once they joined my tribe. That was the only time they did anything to help. Otherwise, the other 5 Sims are just wandering around, not helping you at all unless you designate them to do something. But good luck doing so, because every time you want to interact with a Sim, they wander off or interact with another Sim, so you cannot interact with them. They're purposely avoiding responsibility, leaving me to do all the hard work by myself. Honestly, if I could escape and leave them behind, I would. In order to progress, you have to complete goals. If you do not complete every single one, you cannot get hold of new build mode objects, tools, and the ability to escape. It's just a badly designed game all around. These goals range from spearing a fish, cooking the fish, to befriending a chimp, or somehow knowing how to build things like a home torch or a radio to send out an SOS to escape that way. And the thing is, the goals are too vague. They don't explain nothing, so you have to Google everything if you want to figure things out. Yeah, fuck you too, game. Another issue this game has, along with the entirety of The Sims 2 and The Sims 1 and its spin-offs, is building relationships take forever. I don't have the time nor patience for this bullshit. I need to befriend people, have them join my tribe and escape. But no matter what, even after telling Asmongold over 100 jokes, he still won't join my tribe. It took forever. It took literally almost the entire 4-hour playthrough to finally get everyone to join the damn tribe. Also, don't go expecting to build relationships to bloom into romance. Yes, you can romance Sims still, like any Sims game basically, but it's near impossible as Sims scatter, never wanting to interact with you, and you only earn a dinky amount of friendship points with each interaction, if it's even successful. I just gave up after a while. The only people I could even befriend weren't even people, but chimpanzees. After just about 4 hours of non-stop playing this game, I just wanted to quit and never play it again, but I decided no, I needed to actually complete it. I didn't complete the PS2 version. It's only right I finally do it with this one for PSP. You have a few ways to do so. You can escape by radio SOS, but I never could figure it out. So I settled with the boat ending, which required me to have level 10 body skill just to jump from the top of a waterfall into the lagoon below, which allowed me to swim towards a beach with a spot for a boat schematic. I had the resources and was quick to end the game once and for all. The ending just sucks. It's one of the worst endings in gaming history. Like Rage. Just take a look and let's move on to the other section. The music is forgettable, stereotypical island tunes on top of some licensed stuff I won't bother even playing. There wasn't a single memorable tune in the game. Not the main theme, not Create a Sim, not buy mode or build mode, and sure as hell not even in game. This game was just a painful experience all around. One good thing I can say about this game is the fast load times. In fact, I barely even noticed the loading screens. Then again, when you're just a PS2 game ported to the PSP with worse everything, I guess that just makes sense. The worst loading screens are still any large areas like the Geyser Springs and Pirate Ship for examples. Too bad the game can't play good given it has a major problem.
Oh boy, here we go.
That problem is your camera. It just doesn't want to work right. You're constantly moving it around, just trying to see what's around you. Tons of objects get in the way of seeing anything around you. So if you're in a small area, get ready for non-stop blocking while having to adjust your camera, which will sway around and zoom in and out on its own as you move. So you're always fighting the camera no matter what you do in this game. For the entire playthrough of about 4 hours, it's just not worth it.
You're not worth it.
The game is just the PlayStation 2 version downgraded even more so. Just to work on the PlayStation Portable. This game looks a million times worse than anything else on the PSP with The Sims. The Sims 2 and The Sims 2 Pets on PSP look way better, especially The Sims 2 on PSP. How is that even possible? It's not even a demanding game in comparison to The Sims 2 PSP. You're just exploring tiny sectioned off levels with no activity, nothing to do, and for a while, only one sim to start out with. Too bad the bad graphics don't help with any of the hiccups though.
My eyes!
Yeah, this game has some technical hiccups, from freezing to stutters to slowdown and of course, crashes galore. This game is a technical nightmare on the PSP. I never had this many issues on the PS2 version, but here, you best be ready to deal with non-stop performance and stability problems, while fighting a bad camera and having to grind for hours on end just to get the skills you need and tending to your hypoglycemic needs, where you must do everything yourself just to complete the game. And the worst part was, I was originally going to do this review sooner, but the game crashed before I could save and I lost all my progress of about almost 1 hour of gameplay. And I was just about ready to say, fuck it, I'm not going to make this review whatsoever. But no, you know what? I need to warn people of just how shit this game really is.
I know you told your friend you're not okay.
At the end of the day, The Sims 2 Castaway for PlayStation Portable is a worse version of the PlayStation 2 version. From more technical problems to bad controls, it's just a bad game I cannot recommend. But at least I can say I actually completed this game, unlike on PS2, where I just gave up about halfway through because of all the problems the game has. But still, it was not worth it. This is one of the worst games of the Sims franchise alongside the Urbz, The Sims 4, The Sims 3 for Wii and 3DS, My Sims, and more.
It's raw.
The hell was that?
I honestly didn't want to even review this game again, but since it was the last Sims game for PSP, I might as well get it over with for yet another compilation in the future. If you actually like this game, good for you. You're probably blinded by nostalgia because you grew up playing this game. I didn't. I missed out and thank God I did. Though I was sadly exposed to the DS version, sadly.
You poor bastard.
Anyways, I don't know what's coming out next, but whatever it is, let's hope it's actually a good game. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.